Hello, good afternoon and namaskar. I Tejasri Vadgavkar welcome you all on behalf of Just for Hearts, your wellness partner. And as you all know, the entire last week we had a panel discussion on various topics of health and nutrition, wherein renowned dietitians have joined from different parts of our country to nutri-educate and to celebrate the National Nutrition Week. And I'm glad to share that the overwhelming response by you viewer, I am full of gratitude because uh, your responses are always encouraging for us to continue the journey of health and nutrition and to spread the awareness about the same. And yes, as I said, the Nutri Education journey continues. And in this week, we have a series of live cooking demonstrations by our own dietitians, wherein they will be teaching you the art of cooking your desserts without adding sugar to it. They will be teaching you the art of how to do baking in a healthy manner, and also you can prepare how you can prepare detox water in a very healthy format at your home. And today we have with us dietitian Apeksha Ekbote, who has joined us from Bangalore to demonstrate the recipe of multigrain seed biscuits. So, hi Apeksha.
Hi Tejashree. Hi to everybody and
Hi.
thanks for joining in.
Yes, you're welcome, dear. And let me introduce you all with Apeksha. Apeksha is a registered dietitian and a senior nutritionist with 10 plus years of experience. She is based out in Bangalore, and she is currently pursuing her PhD in the subject of nutrition, and also double gold medalist in her master's degree. So we have eminent dietitian who will be teaching us the art of enjoying our biscuits every day in the morning and in the evening, along with one hot cup of tea or coffee, as she is making those biscuits healthy by adding the ingredients that she will let us know in some time. So I welcome you, Apeksha, and yes,
Thank you
you
very
can go on and
So
demonstrate the recipe.
yeah, just to add to that, I'm a nutritionist as well as a home baker. So I love
Right.
baking and baking has been my passion since childhood, I should say. And today I'm bringing in nutrition in my baking and we're going to bake multigrain seed biscuits. So I will not waste much time explaining you the recipe, but I will go on straight away to the ingredients and why I chose this recipe and what all ingredients it contains. So as you all know, India is a country where tea or coffee is our staple as soon as we get up in the morning or have a tea or coffee in the evening. So and everybody these days, be it diabetics or a heart patient or anybody, would like to have a biscuit with their cup of tea or coffee. And challenges are when it comes to diabetes or people who are having cardiovascular disorders or a renal patient who cannot afford to take a bakery biscuit, which will contain more of vanaspati, more of dalda, lot of trans fat, and it's all maida and margarine based. So when you can make simple biscuits at home, I thought why not give you this easy recipe, which you can easily make it at home just in a span of 20 minutes, and then the biscuits have a very long shelf life of close to 10 days in an airtight container. So we will go straight away go to the recipe now. So I'm using a multigrain flour here. So my multigrain flour consists of whole wheat. I've used finger millet or ragi here, and I've used sama millet or little millet, and a little bit of foxtail millet flour also. So you can use any millet or any flour. You can make these biscuits completely of whole wheat flour. You can add whole wheat and ragi. You can add whole wheat and foxtail or foxtail and ragi. It's completely your choice. You can mix. 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 attas. It's completely your choice. So I've used 1.5 cups of flour here, and I'm using 2 tablespoons of icing sugar here. Now, why not normal sugar? Now, biscuits, especially when you use multigrain biscuits, which have different composition of grains, it is essential that your gluten, which is there in the wheat flour, or the minimal gluten present in, say you're using oats inside the biscuit. So to bind that together for as a binding agent, I use icing sugar. The icing sugar is nothing but your sugar powder combined with corn flour or cornstarch. So if you don't have icing sugar, you can mix 2 teaspoons of normal sugar powder and 1 tablespoon of corn flour. Now, any biscuit or any bakery item, predominantly biscuits, as I'm teaching you biscuits here, require some sort of fat. So you can use Nutrilite or normal butter or low fat butter. I'm using normal, unsalted, low fat butter. It's not margarine. And salt. These are salted biscuits that we're going to make. So it is 1 teaspoon salt. And I'm using half a teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And just to add flavor to the biscuits inside, I'm having some roasted cumin seeds or jeera and some roasted fenugreek leaves or kasuri methi. You can use any flavor. You can use ajwain, you can use jeera, you can use methi, you can use garlic powder, whichever flavor of biscuits you want, you can add that flavor to your biscuit. Now you just need 1 to 2 teaspoons of milk to bind the uh, biscuit together. And most important are ingredients are these seeds. Now, the seeds which I've used here are a mix of seeds. Now, these seeds are optional, but then they add a lot of value to your nutritional content of the biscuit as well as to your diet. How? I have used pumpkin seeds here, flax seeds, uh, uh, sunflower seeds, and sesame seeds, and some chia seeds. Now, these seeds are very, very high in fiber, firstly. Secondly, they are very high in antioxidants and minerals, and they add a bulk to your diet. So, when you consume a biscuit which is mixed with these seeds, it is more of a fibrous biscuit and a high fiber digestive biscuit rather than having a normal salted biscuit. So, ideally, as nutritionists, we would recommend at least consuming 2 to 3 teaspoons of seeds every day. These seeds are also rich in very high in fat, good fat, that is omega 3 and omega 6 fatty acids are rich in these seeds. And they play a very important role in maintaining your cardiovascular system as well as balancing your sugar. So my recipe here is very good in terms of giving you good amount of fiber, adding a bulk to your diet, giving you rich antioxidants, and also adding a flavor flavoring agent in the form of jeera or kasturi methi or whatever you like it, and it is also digested. So let's begin the recipe now. So you just need a mixing bowl, and I'm taking butter. The butter is 100 grams of unsalted butter. So to 100 grams of unsalted butter, I'm adding 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons is nothing. 1 tablespoon is 15 grams. So this is 30 grams of icing sugar. As I said, if you don't have icing sugar, you can always use powdered sugar and add one tablespoon of cornstarch. Now I'm using a hand blender to blend these both to form a smooth paste. If you don't have a hand blender, just use your hands. That should do. you don't have to blend it for long. I just want them both to get mixed properly. Now, once the butter and sugar is mixed well, just give it a nice stir. Make sure now corn flour or icing sugar tends to form some lumps. So make sure there are no lumps. So once you mix these both and it's a smooth paste like this, that's when we're adding the flour. Now for a biscuit, you need not sieve the flour. It's completely okay to add it whole because you want the bran layer of the whole wheat also inside. So you want lots of nutrition there. So I'm adding 1.5 cups of mixed grain flour, whichever grain you're using. For people who have joined in late, I would like to repeat the flours which I've used here are whole wheat, foxtail millet flour, sama millet or little millet, finger millet or ragi flour. So I have mixed butter and icing sugar to it, which I've added 1.5 cup of flour. I'm adding 1 teaspoon, that is 5 grams of salt, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And the flavoring I'm adding to the biscuit is roasted cumin seeds or jeera and some kasuri methi. The flavoring is totally your choice. Then for the uniform mix, I'm again going to blend it. Now your texture of the mixture would look crumbly. That's exactly how you want a biscuit mixture to be. I will show you. Just give it a nice mix. Now this mixing is very important because especially while making biscuits, you don't want salt or any uh, flavoring to get settled to one biscuit alone. So I want it uniformly mixed. So you're going to get a crumbly texture like this. Now just to bind it together, I'm going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. So you have to use in your hands here. Now here I can give you 2 options. If you're using seeds and you want the seeds inside your biscuits, you're most welcome or free to do so. You can definitely add the seeds inside the biscuit mixture also. But what happens is when you start rolling the biscuit, it tends to break up. So, and if it's a sesame seed or probably chia seeds, which are quite small, you can definitely, add it inside the dough itself. But if it is sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds, which are considerably big, I would suggest we should top it, and they look good also. So I it is always essential for anybody eating anything to make it look appealing, right? So I would suggest sunflower seeds look and pumpkin seeds both look amazingly beautiful. I do have some biscuits baked which I will be showing you. Anyways, to bind the dough, I'm adding some milk. Now don't add 1 to 2 tablespoons all of a sudden. Otherwise, I don't want the dough to be like a chapati. So you will have to add little by little. I'll show you how the mixture should look. And you don't want it like a chapati dough. It should only come together. texture should just come together like this. It's going to be still crumbly. I can show you how it should look. So we are little milk, bit of milk more. Make sure the dough is not too wet or too sticky. It has to just come like this together. I mean, it's still crumbly, but then you have it together, right? Now, ideally, you should keep the dough aside like this for say 10 minutes. But since we are lacking time, I would straight away roll it. So what you should do is just get the dough together like this. And how do you know whether your cookie or biscuit dough is perfectly fine? Is when you break it open like this, I should see a crumbly texture like this, right? So I want a crumbly texture to come like this. That's when your cookie dough is or your biscuit dough is correct. If it is sticky like your chapati dough, then please throw away because it's not going to help you. So it has to be crumbly like this and it has to come together. Okay. So our dough is ready. Next you need a rolling pin. So I'll keep this aside. Yeah. So next you need a rolling pin. Just dust some flour, whole wheat flour or any flour. You can just dust it. And then just take a little bit of your biscuit dough. Make it into a ball. Now you cannot roll it like a chapati because as I said, it's a biscuit dough and it will be crumbly and that's how you want it to be. So you just have to shape it into a ball. Just press it slightly. It has to crack. That's when you know your dough is correct. You cannot get an ideal round shaped chapati. You should not. And roll it 1 to 2 centimeters thick. Okay, so while rolling it, definitely there's going to be a crack. So it has to come like that itself. So roll it very, very gently. Now, don't roll it too thin. Don't roll it too thick. Very gently. All of you, any doubts you have, please post it there. I would be more than happy to address any of your questions, doubts on any method, or if you want me to, tell you anything else about these biscuits, please feel free to ask. So I have rolled it like this, and you can use any cutter. If you don't have a cutter, any shape of the biscuit is fine. You can use round shape, you can use star shape, heart shape, whichever shape biscuit you want to make. Uh, if you don't have a cutter, like I'm using a glass too. You can use any Dakkan or any lid is perfectly okay. So you just have to make shapes like this. See? That's the shape. It's a round shape of a biscuit. Okay. Now grease your tray, baking tray. So I have greased it with normal vegetable oil and dusted some flour. If you have parchment paper or butter paper, well and good, you can use that also. But with my experience, what I have seen is the biscuits tend to stick to the butter paper more. And most of our oven trays are, uh, you know, non-stick anyways. So I think you can just dust it with flour and arrange these biscuits. So let me show you by cutting 3 or more. So as I said, it hardly takes 10 minutes if your ingredients are ready to mix this, and another 15 to 18 minutes for it to bake. So in a total 20 minutes to 30 minutes, your biscuits are ready. So giving it a round shape, you can give any shape. The thickness should be this thick. If you can see the thickness, it should be this thick. So please line it this way, leaving little gap between each. Now, not that these biscuits are going to, expand like a cake or anything, but then it definitely has some butter in it. So 99% they don't spread, but you have to keep a distance so that they don't stick to each other and break open. Okay. I can show you another batch of rolling and cutting, and then we should move on to how the seeds have to be incorporated onto it. So I'm going to take some more dough. Now, variations for these biscuits, as I said, you can make it exclusively whole wheat if you want. Uh, you want it sweeter, just eliminate the salt completely, or use only half a teaspoon of salt and add 2 teaspoons of sugar to it. But I would not suggest that taste to these biscuits because these are best tasted salty. Okay. So you can use any flour or a mixture of flours. Please don't go and buy specifically for this. Please uh, try out these biscuits and let me know. They are definitely a fail-proof recipe. I make these very often at home, and they're wonderful for diabetics and cardiovascular patients, loaded with antioxidants and lot of fiber. And hey, one more thing I wanted to tell all of you is, unlike our bakery bought biscuits or our Mary biscuits or anything, even the slightest air if enters into these biscuits, they don't turn moist or soggy. So that's one thing I have observed after baking my own biscuits is definitely you have to store them in airtight containers. But even though a smallest opening is left and then air seeps in, don't worry, they're not going to get soggy. Okay, so I'm cutting another lot of the biscuit. You can use any cutter. I'm using a glass here. You can use any lid. So this is the thickness. जो लोग हिंदी में कंफर्टेबल है समझने के लिए हम बना रहे हैं मल्टीग्रेन सीड बिस्किट. मैंने इसमें गेहूं का आटा, फॉक्सटेल का आटा, रागी का आटा और सामा मिलेट का आटा लिया है. आप कोई भी आटा ले सकते हैं. अगर आपको बटर नहीं लेना तो आप लो फैट न्यूट्रलाइट बटर जो आता है वो ले सकते हैं. ऑयल से नहीं बना सकते ये बिस्किट क्योंकि हमें वो क्रंच और क्रमली टेक्सचर चाहिए जो सिर्फ बटर या सॉलिडिफाइड फैट से ही मिलेगा. तो हमने ऐसे शेप देकर बिस्किट्स को बेकिंग ट्रे पर रखा है. अभी मैं उन पर सीड्स डालूंगी या बीज जो होते हैं. हम लोग ने इधर कद्दू के बीज, सनफ्लावर का बीज, चिया सीड्स जो बोलते हैं उसे लिया है और तिल लिया है। आप कोई भी सीड्स मार्केट में आपको जो अलसी मिलता है, अलसी भी लिया है मैंने, विच इज कॉल्ड फ्लैक्स सीड्स, अलसी भी ले सकते हैं। मैंने मिक्स्ड सीड्स लिया है क्योंकि मिक्स्ड लेने से ज्यादा न्यूट्रिशन डेफिनेटली आएगा। नाउ आप यू कैन नॉट just paste the seeds like this. It will not stick. Now, most of, like as I said, I'm a home baker, and most of my students face these problems when they stick seeds either to their buns or breads or biscuits. Is they say after baking the seeds all fall off. So, one tip to make sure your seeds stick onto your biscuits even after storing is take a little bit of water. Okay, apply it gently. Don't press the biscuit. Apply it gently on the biscuit. Take the seeds and gently tap it there. Don't press it. If you press the biscuit and then your seeds will go inside and then you will not get the flavor. So gently apply water, not too much water again because it will hamper the baking process. Now, the quantity of seeds is again based on how much you want to apply. It's totally up to you. You can use any seed, as I said. You don't have to stick to using mixed seeds. You can use only sunflower. You can use only pumpkin. You can use only chia, only flax seeds. It's totally up to you. So I'm just applying little water and putting these seeds here. Now, once you put these seeds, you have to refrigerate them for 10 minutes. That's when you turn on your oven for preheating. So, you have to preheat the oven for 10 minutes, and then that's when your biscuits are getting refrigerated. Why do you have to refrigerate? Firstly, for the seeds to get stuck on to the biscuits firmly so that the water which we have applied on it dries up. Secondly, the butter has to get a little firmer. So these are the two reasons we are refrigerating the biscuits just for 10 minutes. That should do. And then you have to preheat the oven at 170 degrees fan. When I say fan, it means convention mode. Now, a lot of people ask me what is this convention and what is oven. Now, convention is nothing but where you're rotating the air inside the oven. So ideally, when you are baking a cake, you should never turn on the convection. That is because you want softness inside the cake, you want moisture inside the cake, and you don't want your cake to dry out. Whereas in a biscuit, you do not need any moisture and you want the biscuits to be as crisp as they can. So in biscuits, please turn on the convection and preheat the oven to 170 degrees for 10 minutes. And then see, I have stuck the seeds onto the biscuits. I hope it is clear, right? So now I will refrigerate this for 10 minutes and then the oven is going to uh, be preheated for 10 minutes. And then you bake this at 170 degrees centigrade, both oven and convection mode on. Now, for people who do not have an OTG, I am going to bake this in an OTG. For people who do not have an OTG and have microwave ovens, now if you have a normal microwave oven, unfortunately you cannot bake biscuits in a normal microwave oven. Whereas if you have an microwave oven with convection mode, definitely you can bake these in a convection mode. Okay. Now, since we don't have the time, I have already baked some biscuits for you to show how they look post baking. Oops. So these are my baked biscuits. Can you see the baked biscuits? Yeah. So I will just show you. The seeds are stuck onto it. They do not fall. I can show you. They do not fall. They are stuck onto the biscuit, right? I will show you the crumbly texture of the biscuit. It breaks open perfect. Okay. So thank you. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the recipe and will definitely try it out. It's a very simple recipe and please do try it out. It is loaded with good nutrition information. Thank you, Tejashri. Over to you.
I'm so sorry, I was on mute. So thank you, Apeksha, for sharing such a healthy recipe and the way in which we can add nourishment and make our routine biscuits healthy. So every aspect you have covered it very well. Just I just wanted to ask few queries that are from my end actually. Is like if, as you said, that we can bake them in OTG and in a regular microwave, right? So if can we go ahead with pressure cooker, using pressure cooker to bake these biscuits?
See, as I said, in a pressure cooker, there is a lot of moisture which generates. So your biscuits don't tend to be crumbly and crisp. So
Right.
when you're baking any biscuit, you do not need any moisture. Okay.
Okay.
So I would not
So you prefer
recommend baking
using.
a biscuit in a pressure cooker.
Okay, okay. And to add color to it, can we add some cocoa powder to it, or
Definitely, you can make chocolate-based biscuits. You can add any flavoring. As I said, you can add pista to it. You can add cocoa powder to it. You can add anything to it to make it flavorful.
okay? So I'm going to definitely try the recipe, and so our viewers are also going to try it, as I'm getting wonderful comments. So I would like to just share it with you all. So it's like everyone is enjoying here. The Doshi is also enjoying. The Namruta is also saying that this biscuits are really looking out good. So thank you everyone for joining us for the today's session. And I would like to thank help. Yeah, I'm so sorry for the interruption. Due to some internet issue, there was some disturbance, because of which the broadcast was not proper. So I will be looking forward for you all tomorrow at 3 p.m., wherein another dietitian from Team Just for Hearts is going to share you that how you can enjoy your desserts without adding sugar to it, and how you can make it as more proteinaceous, and how you can make it more nutritious. So do join us tomorrow at 3 p.m. to learn the art of cooking in a healthy way. Thank you so much. See you all.